I could make this video about all the great things we saw from Nintendo Switch 2 Direct. I could talk about all the good things. I could talk about all the nuances. I could even talk about all the negative things that have to do with the pricing and stuff like that. But I think we're going to take a more nuanced approach when it comes to this conversation about this Nintendo Switch 2 as of right now, even though it hasn't been released yet. I've seen some particular trends with certain platform owners and certain console manufacturers making the same mistake they made back in the past. I'll give you an example. I watched this video from Maximilian Dude talking about the similarities with how certain companies have taken the trends with game prices, they're taking the trends with, prices of consoles. And now, before I even jump into the video, if you haven't heard already, the Nintendo Switch 2 is going to cost $450. Well, that was before we just got news of Nintendo delaying pre-orders, which to me points to the fact that, okay, due to the circumstances that are currently going on in the world with world economics, politics, I'm not going to go into the politics of the whole situation, but we do have to address the fact that it is going to cause a lot of issues when it comes to gaming and the tech industry in general. And so for now, we aren't entirely sure what the game is going to cost in the US. I'm in the UK, so I think we're probably safe on what the price is for now, but we'll see how that plays out. The big thing that people are tired of, the big thing that people are not happy with, especially when it comes to gaming consoles, especially when it comes to gaming manufacturers, is the nickel and diming from certain companies. Nintendo is the biggest culprit. I mean, Nintendo and PlayStation are head and head when it comes to diming you for every single thing. I mean, they're the only two consoles that still tell you to still pay for cloud saves. I'm still paying for cloud saves in 2025. Why on earth would I pay for cloud saves in 2025? That's a different conversation for another day, but it's weird seeing the same trend happen all over again. Take, for example, right? So, the PlayStation 1 came out. The PlayStation 1 was a phenomenal console because it did something different from what Nintendo was doing with Nintendo 64 and the Sega Genesis. Then came the PlayStation 2, which broke all the records, and it's still I think it's still holding the record for the most amount of units sold by a single particular console, and that's the PlayStation 2. So clearly, PlayStation were killing it during that time. Then you come onto the PlayStation 3, you get greedy, you get complacent, you get overconfident, and that's when Xbox came with the 360 and really showed PlayStation that, oh hey, you guys are messing shit up for yourself. And then PlayStation almost going into bankruptcy, came up with the PlayStation 4. We know how the PlayStation 4 panned out because the PlayStation 4 turned out to be a very great console that had great experiences with great games. And then we have the PlayStation 5, which for the most part has done its job, but at the same time, you can clearly tell that PlayStation has taken its foot off the gas from being competitive, because who on earth are you competing with anymore? You see the fluctuation in trend when it comes to companies that are, oh, we're doing everything here for the consumer, we're being competitive for the prices, so all of a sudden being, nah, we're going to charge you this because we know we can get away with it and you're going to pay. It's the exact same trend that's going to happen with the Switch 2. Well, let me not say it's going to happen. It just feels like it might happen at some point. We went from Nintendo 64 being amazing. The GameCube was alright. The Wii was incredible. The Wii broke so many records. We then went to the Wii U, which was an absolute flop. And what did Nintendo do to change this, to turn the ship around? Nintendo Switch. And we all know how Nintendo Switch actually turned out to be. It turned out to be a phenomenal console that had a lot of flaws in the graphical department, the power department, but it still did a lot of good things with the exclusives, the contents, the software. And so you have the Switch 2, and clearly with the Switch 2, I would say the pricing of the console isn't the bad part. The pricing of the console honestly falls in line with what I thought it was always going to be. I was thinking it was going to be around $400 to $450. I never thought it was going to be around $500, and I think it's about $420. It's about $399 in the UK, so £399 and then $429 with the bundle, which is amazing. But it doesn't paint the full picture as to what's going on with the increase in game prices. Now, I know people are going to say, okay, fine, inflation is a thing, inflation is here, stuff like that. It doesn't change the fact that we all thought GTA 6 would be that game. Rockstar would be that company that would change the trajectory of what gaming prices would be and essentially cause some level of gaming crash within the industry. That I'll wait to see if that actually happens. But I feel crazy saying this now, but I never saw Nintendo doing this. And I didn't expect Nintendo to actually do this. I knew Nintendo was going to do something crazy. I didn't expect them to increase gaming prices to $80. That wasn't a thing I put. That was on my bingo card. And we all knew the internet was going to react a certain type of way. You guys even watching, you all know how we feel. You can't defend the increase in price from $80, and the reason they tell you is because, okay, the games are expensive, so we have to increase the price. Well, but you're nickel and diming us from every single angle, Nintendo. Say for example, I'm paying to get access to the features of my console to play my old Switch 1 games, unless I jump onto Nintendo Switch Online. So you're basically telling me that, oh hey, buy the new Nintendo Switch 2. However, to actually use the features of the Switch 2 with your old games, you have to pay me an extra $10. Similar to what PlayStation is doing, but PlayStation offers more content with what they do. In Nintendo's case, for the Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, they're just offering you improved performance, improved frame rates, improved resolution. It doesn't. You have some exceptions with Mario Party Jamboree that has like a $20 upgrade pack that comes with more content. Now that's different. I still think you're still charging way too much for something like that. You even have a parking game that isn't even a parking game, because if it was a parking game, it would come with the system. Instead, you're telling us to also pay $10 for that parking game as well. Oh, let's not even talk about the newest feature of the actual console, apart from the mouse feature, which does look good in certain games. Let's talk about the C button, the magical C button. C button looks like stands for credit card nowadays, because now even with the C button, it's like a broken down version of Discord that only works on Nintendo consoles. Here's the catch: you can only use it if you're on Nintendo Switch Online, if you pay for Nintendo Switch Online. So basically, the C button is rendered useless if you don't have Nintendo Switch Online. So I have to pay to make use of this feature on a console that I paid for. You see where I'm going with this? Everything points out to like, okay, it points out to a company being greedy. It points out to, you're making a lot of money, and you knew you were always going to make a lot of money because it's Nintendo Switch 2. People are hyped from Nintendo Switch 1. We're going to come into the Switch 2's life cycle and be like, okay, yeah, you're going to make a lot of money. But now it almost feels like you're taking the piss by increasing the price of Mario Kart World Tour, because you know for a fact everyone's going to buy it. Naturally, as I've said, voting for your wallet works in this scenario. I don't think it does, because similar to how GTA 6 is going to come out, and hey, at this point, it's pretty certain it's going to be like $80 to actually play GTA 6. We are going to pay for it because it's GTA 6. The fear of missing out is a thing. That's just life, people. That's just life. I don't know what to say. I'm like, on the one hand, I'm like, okay, I know I'm going to get the Switch 2 at some point. Am I going to get it on release day? I don't know. I honestly don't know, to be fair with you. And I know a lot of people here, I know a lot of people in the comment section are like, you know what? A lot of people in the comment section are probably more sensitive towards the PC market, more sensitive towards that angle. I think I'm still a console gamer who just loves PC gaming. I still love my consoles, and I particularly like Nintendo Switch because of the form factor, and they're now also adding the whole 4K 60 performance with it as well. Well, 4K 60 with DLSS upscaling or whatever. So yeah, there you have it, people. Those are my thoughts with what's going on with the console right now. Are you going to get a Switch 2? If you're in the US, unfortunately, I think the Switch 2 is probably going to cost you way more. We don't know yet. It's a very fluid story that's probably going on right now with the whole Trump thing, with the whole tariffs and stuff like that. So we will see how it plays out. We will see how it turns out. But hopefully it's not as bad as I think it might be, because I think this could go very, very bad very quickly. So what do you guys think of the video? Leave in the comment section down below. Put in the comment section down below if you're interested in the Switch 2. If you are, I guess, in the day one, what is your most anticipated game coming from the Switch 2? Is it Mario Kart World Tour? Is it the new Zelda game at some point in time? Is it a new Mario game? Is it the new Donkey Kong game? I've never been a Donkey Kong fan, never played Donkey Kong, so this might be my first Donkey Kong game to actually play. What do you guys think of the video? Leave in the comment section down below. Thank you guys for watching the video. Hope to hear from you soon. We'll see you on the next one. Peace.